Monday. I wake up at 8 a.m. and stay bed until 8:30 a.m. Then I get up and eat breakfast at 9 a.m. I take a shower at 10 a.m., brush my teeth and get dressed at 10:30 a.m. I come my hair at 11 a.m. and finally I go to the university home arrived at 12:30 a.m. 12:30 p.m. and leave my stuff in my room and eat lunch at 1 p.m. Then I go to class at 3 p.m. and finally I go back to the university home at 6 p.m. I eat dinner at 6:30 p.m. After that I do homework until I finish everything and usually go to sleep at 12 a.m. Tuesday, she wakes up at 7:55 a.m. and stay in bed until 8 a.m. Then goes downstairs and eats breakfast at 8:10 a.m. Usually she eats something different every day because that's how it works on the university home. After that she goes upstairs back to the bedroom. Here she usually does homework or sometimes gets ready at 9 p.m. and goes out. After that she eats lunch every day something different. On Tuesday she has class at 1 p.m. so eats at 12 p.m., brush her teeth and goes to class until 6 p.m. and finally she goes to the bedroom, does homework or watches a movie. Wednesday. Again she wakes up at 7:55 a.m. Sometimes she goes to the bathroom or sometimes she stays on bed until 8 a.m. and goes to eat breakfast at 8:05 a.m. After that she goes to sign the documents of the university home at 8:40 a.m. Then goes to the bedroom again. Usually on Wednesday she takes a shower early than Tuesday because her roommate has class at the same time, so she take a shower at 10:30 a.m. Then waits until 12 p.m. and goes to eat lunch. Then she brushes her teeth and goes to class at 1 p.m. In this class, usually the teacher gives a break to the students, so in the break, she eats or drinks something. The guest back to the classroom until 4 p.m. Then she goes to play tennis with her friends on the university and the 6 p.m. She goes back to the university home with her roommate and eats dinner at 6:30 p.m. Sometimes she goes out with friends until 10 p.m. and finally she goes to bed at 10:30 p.m. and it stays awake until 12 a.m. Thursday. On Thursday, she wakes up at 7:55 a.m. and then goes to eat breakfast at 8 a.m. As always, then she does homework at 9 a.m. and 11 p.m. She takes a shower, eats lunch at 12 p.m. and goes to class at 1 p.m. On Thursday, she has classes until 6 p.m. After that, she goes to the university home, gets dinner. After that, she goes to karaoke with her friends and doesn't drink alcohol. She comes back at 10 p.m. and ends her homework, then goes to sleep at 12 a.m. Friday. On Friday, she wakes up early because has class at 9 a.m. So she wakes up at 7:30 a.m. and takes a shower first and then gets breakfast at 8 a.m. After that, she brushes her teeth and go to class at 9 a.m. and comes back to the university home at 11 a.m. She takes a break, eats lunch at 12 p.m. and goes back to the university to does homework, usually maths with a friend. Finally, she goes to the university home at 5 p.m. and goes to her house in Pasca at 7 p.m. Here she goes to bed at 9 p.m. Saturday. On Saturday, she wakes up at 8 a.m. and gets breakfast at 6:30 a.m. Sometimes she goes to out with her mother and sometimes just stays home and just watches a movie or series. On Saturday, she eats lunch at 12:30 p.m., then gets a snack at 4 p.m., gets dinner at 6 p.m. On weekends, she eats rice and soup for dinner, and finally goes to sleep at 9 p.m. Sunday. On Sunday, she wakes up at 8 a.m. and eats breakfast at 8:30 a.m. On Sunday, she doesn't watch movies or series and just does homework all day. She eats lunch at 12:30 p.m. and sometimes in the afternoon she goes to her cousin house to visit them. She comes back at 5 p.m., eats dinner at 6 p.m. and goes to sleep at 9:30 p.m.